Hi, I'm Van Overbay, creator of History and Action Games and the designer of the game SeaRovers. In this video, I'm going to take you through a complete playthrough of the Buccaneers Challenge. That's another solo scenario built into the game, and in it we'll be playing with Robert Searle as captain, so it provides a completely different experience than Blackbeard's Challenge. So first off, I'll show you how the cards are set up, and we'll jump in and start playing. This will be fun, so let's go. Well, we're all set up here to play the Buccaneers Challenge. Now, I'll show you what we've got going on with the attacks first. We've got our community attack row up here, and everything we're playing with the 92 cards now that make up the Buccaneer era. So out of the 160, we took all the Golden Age of Pirate stuff out, everything that's black, all the attacks and all the pirates and equipment for that, and we've got the Buccaneer stuff in. So we've got our community attack row up here, and we've got B6, B8, B9 and B16, and we can build another pirate ship to go after those. And now in this game we're going to be playing with Robert Searle as our captain, and he's really cool. I'll show you what he looks like. Alright, and now he's got a crew, a sloop, and 4-pounders to start off with. So we've got a basic crew, and then we've got the 4-pounders, and we've got a basic sloop. Now what we want to do is try to get the Cagway, which is his name vessel, and it's actually one of the cards in the purchase row up here. So I'll show you these, and we'll be off to a good start with what we've got going on up here, because we've got one wild card, and that's a pretty powerful one, and we won't have to worry about that since it's in the purchase row. And then we've got the Cagway, and so with it, not only is it 2 dice, but also with Searle it gets +1 on the movement, so that's great. And then we've got a brigantine, and that's a cool ship. So that's our purchase row, and then we've got our hand of cards, and we've got some good cards in our hand to start off the game. We've got the HMS Oxford, which is Henry Morgan's ship. That's a cool vessel. And we've got William Dampier. That's a great card. We've got Marksman with Muskets, so we're going to be upgrading to that right off the bat. And then we've also got Pierre Legrand, and that's a cool card because we've got his attack, B8, over here in the community attack row, Folly of the Flagship. And so right off the bat we're going to try to complete that with him, since we're going to be starting at Port Royal. That's the port I chose. So we've got, with Robert Searle, we could either start with the yellow, which would be Port Royal, or we could have started with the blue, which would have been H5 Petit Goave. But I went ahead and started at Port Royal. And so now his 5 attacks, we've got B10, which is up the Nicaragua River here. We've got B1, the Sack of St. Augustine, up here in Florida. We've got Terror on Tobago, which is way over here in the corner, and that's a tough one. Now we've got Storm in Santiago, Cuba, and we've got the Plunder of Panama. Robert Searle participated in that with Henry Morgan. So that's down here at B17. And Searle did a lot of stuff. He was with Mings at Santiago, and so he was pretty prolific when it comes to buccaneering. Now, I've got these set up in order of their strength. So this is a 3-die, 4, 5, 6, 7. And so, as I said, we're going to be starting out of Port Royal, and my plan, depending on the wind, we need to upgrade his guns. He's got 4-pounders, and right now he's 5 dice. So we can really only go after maybe these 2 weaker attacks right now. If we go after B1, the bonus is great guns, so we can upgrade his guns. So that might be probably what I'm going to do. But let's go ahead and get things going for the setup for turn 1. And we'll put Blackbeard's last fight track marker on 1. We track the 12 turns of the game with that. And we're going to put the Hurricane on turn 1. And we're going to roll 2 dice for the wind south of the Tropic of Cancer. And we get a 7, so that's going to be medium winds. And we'll roll the die for the direction. And they're going to be southwest. And now we're going to roll for the wind north of the Tropic of Cancer. And we get a 6. So that's going to be medium winds, and we roll the die also. So let's see what we get up north. And we get west. All right. Now last, we're going to roll 1 die for the hurricane. If you get a 6, it's going to come out. And it doesn't. All right. So now we'll start our turn. The first thing we can do, we can either buy one of these cards for 2 pieces of 8. We're starting with 12. Or we can take the top card of the draw pile, or we could either draw a new card for over there at the attacks. But I'm going to go ahead and purchase the Cagway. So that's going to cost us 2 pieces of 8. And it goes into my hand. Now I'm going to start putting some stuff out here and building. So let's see. We're going to move this sloop over to another space. And we're going to put the Cagway down. And that's going to cost us 3 to bring it out of our hand. Put it on the table. Now let's see. We'll go ahead and keep these 4-pounders on it. And we're going to put this crew here. You can move things around on the table after it's already paid for to be brought out. And we're going to use the marksmen with muskets. So we're going to put that there. And that's going to cost us 2. Now that's going to give us a re-roll 1 die that shows a 1 for from any attack or combat roll. So that comes in real handy on some of these stronger attacks. That's going to cost us 2. All right, and now we can put Searle back. And now he's up to a 6 die now with a re-roll. So that's pretty good. Now we've got a sloop going here. Now I want to make sure we've got enough to set sail here in a moment. So we've got 5 left. So let's see. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to try to pull a cool move here if we can get it together. So we've got 5. We can bring Pierre Legrand out for 2. Now let's see, that sloop's going to cost us 2. So that's 2. Now I need to hang on to 2 to move him with. So this last one, let's see, I'm going to put 4-pounders on there. So that's going to put Pierre Legrand on a sloop. And he's going to be a total of 5 dice. So let's see, we pay for the guns. Okay, now we're going to set sail with Pierre Legrand. And to do that, we're going to pay the 2 on the sloop, turn it sideways to show it's at sea. And we pay that 2. Now we've spent all of our pieces of 8. But now I'm going to use the number 2 for Legrand there. And he's going to be the silver ship. So he's starting at Port Royal. Now right off the bat, we're going to try to make it to B8, which is just 3 spaces away. We got southwest winds, but I still think we can make it. And since we paid, that pays for the move. So let's check it out and see what we got here. Now I've also got William Dampier, which is +1 to any nautical skill. And I'm going to play that when we roll our nautical roll. So let's see. Right off the bat, we know the vessel's base move is 5. Now let's check the wind modifier. We've got southwest winds, so we get the wind direction on the outside. And then we're going to put his course direction in. Now we're going to head east in a sloop with medium winds. So that's going to give us +2. Great. So no problem, we're going to make it. And we don't even have to roll that nautical skill, so I'll get to save that card. Alright, so we're going to move Legrand to B8, and that's the folly of the flagship. This is a pretty famous Buccaneer attack. Legrand was one of the first ones, and in 1602 Pierre Legrand with a crew of only 28 men captured the flagship and vice admiral of Spain's windward fleet near Cape Tiburon off the southwest coast of Hispaniola. So this is a 2-die attack, and we're going to get 3 pieces of 8, and we can upgrade to a warship if we complete it. So we're going to attempt to complete that. And now we're 5 dice versus 2. All right, so I'm going to roll black always for my Buccaneer versus 2. All right, so the 6s cancel out, and our next highest beats theirs. So we've got that complete. So we're going to get our 3 pieces of 8. And I'm not going to worry about upgrading to the warship. And we're going to put this on the bottom of the attack pile, draw pile, and put a new attack out there. And it's B7, Princesa off Puerto Rico. So, all right, now what's cool is, since that's one of Pierre Legrand's historic attacks that we just completed, and you can see the coordinate on his card, the B8 right there, then he gets to move again if he can pay for the cost. Unfortunately, we don't have any more pieces of 8 that we can spend, and I don't have a card that would pay for it. So I wish we could, but that's going to put us stuck there for right now. But that's all right. So let's go ahead and finish this turn up. Now we'll need to discard. So I've got plenty of crew. I've got Lawrence DeGraff. I need to get rid of the Davy Jones locker. This is an instant that negates any instant. And that's a good card in a multiplayer game a lot of times. But now in a solitaire game, if it's in your hand, you would have to play it if you tried to play a good instant card. So I need to get rid of it. So I'm going to put it on the discard pile. And then we're going to draw back up to 8 cards. 2. So we draw 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we got some good cards. We got the letter of mark, which negates any wild card. That's a great card to have. We got Jean Lafitte, which move any vessel again for no cost. That's a great card. And we got 2 different havens. We got H8 and H4. We got Bennett's Key, which is H4, and we got Old Providence, which is H8. And now this one for sure is going to come in real handy, so we'll definitely be hanging on to that. All right, so we're back up to 8 cards last. We're going to put a new card in the purchase row, and it's La Tigre, which is DeGraff's ship. All right, so that finishes turn 1. All right, so we'll get set up here for turn 2. We'll go ahead and move turn track marker to 2. We're going to move the Hurricane to 2. And we'll get set up here to roll everything. All right, so we're looking pretty good. Now, first we'll go ahead and roll the winds south. And we get a 4, which is light winds west. And the winds south of the Tropic of Cancer predominantly tend to be west. And of course north, they tend to be easterly. So let's roll north. Whoa, another 4. So that's going to be light winds east. And now we'll roll for the Hurricane. And it's 2 dice now, turn 2. So a 6 is going to come out. And it comes out. So we're going to roll 1 die 6, and it comes out on one of these 6 hexes. It's going to come out on number 4. And we roll 1 die to see which direction it's going to move. And we get that from the chart over here. It's going to be northwest. And we roll 1 die 6 to see how many spaces. 1 space northwest. So there's the Hurricane. All right, now we're ready to get things going for our Buccaneers. So first we have a choice again to either buy a card or draw a card. So I'm just going to draw one. I don't really need anything we've got going on up there. And we get a brigantine. So that's cool. And I'm going to set some of these out here so we can see them. That I'm probably going to use this turn. So we got Jean Lafitte and William Dampier. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and move with Pierre Legrand. And he was over here at B8, so he's going to come to Port Royal. He's only 3 spaces away, and we got westerly winds, so we know he's going to make it. Our pieces of 8 recycle. Now we do have to pay for the move, so that's going to be 2 pieces of 8, and we move him to Port Royal. Now the pieces of 8 that was on board his ship come to our supply as unspent, and now he goes away. He goes on the discard pile. So anytime you bring another captain home other than Searle, now he gets to stay out because he's our main captain. But that got us some pieces of 8. That was the main point of that. So now we need to get going with Searle because we got a lot of stuff to do. So let's see. We need to upgrade his guns, and I still haven't gotten any in my hand. So the next attack, it would be good to hit one that we could upgrade his guns. So let's go ahead and head towards, boy, it's a long way. Well, let's go ahead and head up to Florida. So we're going to head west and go around and come up that way. So we're going to be heading west. And now we're in the Cagway. Let's see, we need to set sail. So let's pay 3 for the Cagway's move. Oh, this is great because he gets a bonus move with that. So we've got 3 for that. So now the base move is 5. And since he's the historic captain, he's going to get the historical vessel bonus, which is 1. And now let's check the wind modifier. It's west and west with light. So west and light winds west with a sloop is going to be +2. Now we can roll his nautical skill. Searle's got a 4. That's the number right there. And we're going to roll versus the wind strength, which is light wind, so we're going to versus 1 die. And I do have William Dampier that we could play, but we'll save him. All right, so we got the nautical skill, so that's a +1. And that's going to give us a total of 9 move points. And we're heading west. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn is 6, 7, 8, 9. And we're just going to stop there on B4. All right, now we're going to go ahead and play Jean Lafitte, which is move any vessel again for no cost. And that's a great card. You really need to take advantage of this. So we're going to play that. And we don't even have to pay for the move. So and this time we're going to be heading northwest. We got the 5, 1. So let's check the wind modifier. With winds west and us moving northwest, it's still going to be a +2 with light winds. And let's do his nautical skill. And again, that's 4 versus 1. All right, we got that one. So that's going to give us a total of 9 again. All right, so let's go 1, 2 turn, 3, 4, 5 turn, 6, 7, 8. And we'd have to turn, so we'll just use our knot to stay right there. Okay, so now we've done about all we can do with Searle. And we've still got some pieces of 8 left. So, and it's going to do us better to try to draw some cards. So we can go ahead and get rid of Port Royal. So let's change that to, I'm going to change it to Bennett's Key for right now. So we'll put it on the discard and pay 3 to bring Bennett's Key out. And what I'm thinking about with that is after we hit B1, we might go ahead and maybe take the run towards B13, depending on if we get guns or not, and what the wind is. But if we do that, we could stop off at Bennett's Key and drop off the silver and get to move again. So let's see. And we can go ahead and start building another ship here. So let's put a brigantine out, and that's 3. Now I'm going to save 2 to make sure I can discard an extra card by paying 2. So let's see what else we can spend. Let's put Lawrence de Graaf on the brigantine, and he costs 2. Alright, so now we can discard, and we're going to discard this crew because I really want to hang on to everything else we've got. And we've still got Dampier here, so we'll discard and draw 4. Alright, now we've got some tough cards here. Now first off, we've got Henry Morgan, and that's cool. But we've got Marooned, which plays on any Buccaneer crew at sea, Captain Save versus 3 dice or lose crew. So we'll have to deal with that since it's going to be in our hand next turn. And then we've also got this one, and this is the White Squall. Plays on any vessel at sea, Captain Nautical Save versus 4 dice, or cannot move for 1 turn. So we're going to have to deal with both of those. And we got Tortuga. So that's going to finish turn 2. So we get everything set here for turn 3. We'll move that. And we'll go ahead and roll for our wind south. And we get an 8. So that's going to be medium winds west. And let's roll for our wind north. We get a 5. That's going to be light winds northeast. That's not too bad from where we're at. That's good. And now we need to roll for the hurricane. So we're going to roll 1 die for the direction. A 3, so it's going to move west. And it's going to move 1 space again. It's going to hang out down there. Alright, so now let's get our draw. Now, one thing you can do also is you can pay 6 pieces of 8 and completely change out the purchase row. But I'm not going to do that yet. That's too costly and I don't need to. So I don't really need anything that's up there. So I'm going to go ahead and draw a card from the top of the draw pile. And we get Ocracoke Haven. So that's cool. But now we need to deal with these wild cards right off the bat. So you have to take care of those. So let's see. I do have the letter of mark, which is going to negate one of them. So let's see. And it's an instant. So it can be negated even after you attempt it. So we'll go about it that route. So we're going to take on Maroon first. Plays on any Buccaneer crew at sea, Captain Save versus 3 dice or lose crew. So that's going to be played on Searle here. And he is our number 1. I'm going to change him out to the red one. All right. So he's got 4. No, I'm sorry. He's got a Captain Save of 3. That's a skulls. And it's 3 die or lose crew. So it's 3 versus 3. I don't have anything that's going to add any kind of bonus to this either. think. Nope. But as I said, I do have the letter of mark, which would negate it, but I really probably going to use it for this white squall. All right, hey, we won. We got the 5. Their highest is a 2, so we won. We do have to pay the 3, though. That's one of the downsides of the wild cards. So we have to pay the 3, but that goes away. All right, so now we're going to play the white squall, and it costs 5. And that's Captain Nautical Save versus 4 dice. And again, he's a 4 on his nautical skill. So let's see. Now we do have William Dampier, but now he only adds 1 to any nautical skill roll. This is actually a nautical save, so you have to pay attention to the text. There's nautical saves, nautical skill, combat rolls, attack rolls. Not too many different kinds, but each one is specific. So he can only be played on a nautical skill, not a nautical save. So this is 4 versus 4. But if we lose, we can negate it. And that's why I got rid of that Davy Jones locker. If he was in my hand and I tried to play this letter of mark, I'd have to play the Davy Jones, which would negate it. So I've been stuck. All right, we beat that one. Well, I shorted. I messed up, so I'm going to have to re-roll. I actually rolled 5 for Searle and 3 for the white squall. I miscounted my die, so I'm just going to re-roll that entirely. 4 versus 4. All right. Oh, it looks like we barely won that. The 6s, then 5s, and then my next highest is a 5, and his is a 3. All right, so we beat the white squall, but that was a big hit. How much silver that cost us just having to play those, and we've still got our letter of mark, so that's cool. So let's get on the move with Searle here, and we're heading, as I said, to B1. So we're going to be moving northeast, and we're north of the Tropic of Cancer now, so we pick up the winds north, and the winds up there are northeast light. So we're going to look, let's see, northeast, and we're moving northeast in a sloop with light winds. It's going to be +2. And let's check his nautical skill, and that's 4 versus 1. All right, we got that. So that's going to give him 9. Don't think that's quite going to get us there. Let's see. That's 1, 2, 3, 4 turn, 5, 6, 7 turn, or 8. But we make it. I miscounted there, but we made it. Great. All right. So let's see. All right, so we're going to attempt to complete B1. Now, the only downside is if we do make it, I still haven't gotten any guns that we can upgrade him with, and that's what I was hoping to have had by the time we got there. But let's see. So we're going to be 6 die versus 4, and we do get a reroll with those marksmen with muskets. Don't have anything else that'll help us on the attack. So, and now if we want to, I just want to do this, because this is kind of handy. This is our odds. So if we're 6 die versus a 4 die attack, then we've got a 66.12 chance to win on this roll. So this is going to be 6 versus 4. All right, we got a 6 and they didn't, so we won. Okay, so that's going to complete B1. And this was the sack of St. Augustine, and it's going to give him 3 pieces of 8. And unfortunately, I don't have any great guns that we can upgrade with. But we'll take our pieces of 8 and we'll get to move again. Now the great thing is that's one of our 5, so we'll put that there. Alright, so now from B1, let's go ahead and, as I said, we could head towards H4. Man, we need... Well, when we stop at a haven, you can upgrade also then. So maybe we still stand a chance to get some guns by the time we get to H4. We got to watch that hurricane though too, because we're going to be heading straight toward it. But let's do that. So we're going to be heading east. Now we do have to pay for this move. But as I said, this is the bonus for completing the attack. That's one of his historic attacks. So this will cost us 3. And now let's check our winds. We've got northeast, and we're heading east with light winds. So it's going to be +2. And now let's check his nautical skill. That's going to be 4 against 1. And we got that, so that's going to give him 9. As I said, we got to watch that hurricane, but we're heading down to H4, so we're just going to cut straight. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, and that moves Searle for the turn. And now these markers, the ship markers, you can turn them over if you have 3 ships out here and you know which one you've already moved with and stuff. So we'll just flip that over. Now we've got 4 pieces of 8 left. So let's see. Let's go ahead and don't have a lot I can do. So we're just going to just go ahead and discard. So let's get rid of these 2 havens, H3 and H1. So that's going to pay 2 to discard an extra card. And we're going to draw back up to 8 by drawing 3. And we get some cool instants. We get Captain William Kidd. That's a cool card. Reroll 1 die that shows a 1 from any captain or nautical save roll. We got Michelle de Gromit. And we got Mermaids, which negates any history card. So in a solo game, this is not a good card, but in a multiplayer, it can be. So that's pretty cool. Whoop. All right. And that finishes turn 3. So we'll get everything set here for turn 4. So we're going to move our turn marker. And let's roll for our wind down here south. And it's a 9, so that's going to be medium winds northwest. And now let's roll for our winds north, and that's where we're sailing, so we need some good wind here. And we get an 8. So that's going to be medium winds east. That's not bad. There we go. Now let's roll for the hurricane. We're going to roll 1 for the direction. And 4, it's going to move west. 5 spaces. All right. Now we get to draw a card. We'll recycle all our silver. So let's see. Still wouldn't hurt to see some of those cards and start getting into them. Let's go ahead and pay. I'm going to go ahead and pay to change out the purchase row this turn. So that's going to cost us 6. And hopefully this won't bite me. I think it's the time to do it. So let's try it. So we're going to take all of these, put them on the discard pile, and put 3 new cards down. There's 8-pounders. That's great. That's some guns I was talking about. All right, now we get to take one of these cards. So we're going to take the 8-pounders. That worked out great. Okay. Of course, that might have been the top card of the draw pile, but all right. So let's get things moving here with Searle. So we're heading to H4. So this time we're going to be sailing southeast, and the wind's east. We get a 5 and a 1. And we might just make it because we got medium winds. So let's see. Medium winds east, and we're going southeast in a sloop. It's going to give us a +2. If we were in a bigger ship, we'd have got a better bonus. So let's check that nautical skill. We need this. Let's see how many spaces away we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we need the nautical skill to make it. Now I'm going to go ahead and play William Dampier, +1 to any nautical skill. I just kind of want to get it out of my hand, but I do want to make sure we get this one too, though. So we're going to play that, and that's going to give us a 5 for our nautical skill. Oh, I can't play that without having to play the mermaids. So we'll just go ahead and play that. We'll play William Dampier, and we'll have to negate it with the mermaids, so we're going to lose that. But we're still going to be 4 against 2 for the nautical skill. So let's hope we get this. This makes the difference in us reaching home port out. And we got it. Right on. All right, so that's going to give us a 9. So we make it to Bennett's Key. Now we're going to get our silver. And anytime you bring Searle into a port and he's got silver, he gets to move again. So, but before that, we're going to go ahead and you can upgrade his ship. So we're going to bring the 8-pounders out. That's going to cost us 2. Oh, we can't put the 8-pounders on there. My bad. A sloop can only take 4-pounders or 6-pounders. Now 8-pounders are 2 dice, but 6-pounders are also, but that's what we need to go on board that, so we can't do that. So we're going to have to stay where we're at with the guns. So let's see. That's all right though. We still get to move again. So let's see. Just want to make sure where we're heading. And as I said, it looks like we're going to head down. We really need to scoot out of the way of that hurricane. So we're definitely going to get moving that way. And we're just going to, we're going to try to head towards B13. So on this move, we're going to be heading back out of Bennett's Key. So we've got to head northeast. But we still got easterly winds, so that's good. So northeast, we still get the 5, the 1. So let's check the wind. We've got east winds, and we're heading northeast in the sloop with medium. So that's actually going to give us a +3. And let's check his nautical skill. And it's 4 against 2 again. Oh, we didn't get that one. They got a 6, and our house was a 5. So a loss is -1. So we're going to have a total of 8. So let's see. And we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. And as long as we stay 2 spaces away from the hurricane, we're all right. It affects anything within 2, and it's going to be moving away from us, so we're okay right there. Now we do have to pay for that move. So let's see, we had to pay for both of those. So we had to pay our 6 for the cards, we had to pay 3 for that first move, and we pay 3 for that move. All right. So let's see. We can put these 8-pounders on board this brigantine with Lawrence DeGraff here. So those cost 2. And let's see. We've got some powerful cards, but we're really concerned with Searle, so we don't really have to worry about them too much. So I'm going to get rid of Morgan and DeGrom by paying the 2 extra. And we'll draw 4 cards. All right, so there's a crew, a brigantine. There's our 6-pounders. Now I just need to get them on board, and I don't know when our next opportunity is going to be. Either at a haven or B-17, and B-17 is the strongest attack out there, so we're going to have to try to get them on board on a haven. And we got 4-pounders. All right, so that's going to finish turn 4. All right, so we're going to move our turn marker to 5. And now in the Kickstarter, this is going to be a stretch goal for that to be a metal Blackbeard figure, and that's going to be awesome. So I'm really looking forward to that. Now let's see. We're going to roll for our winds south. And we're sailing down there now, so. And I made a mistake last turn. When we came down to H4, we crossed over. So that turn right there, I should have used the south wind. So I'm going to back up and fix it so it doesn't negate this game. And that won't be hard. We'll just back up here. We paid for the move. And now we're going to use the wind down here before we change it. So let's do that real quick. I'm glad I caught that. So let's see, we got northwest winds and we're heading northeast, so it's actually still going to be pretty good. Probably the same. No, with medium winds we're actually going to get +5, so this is even that much better. Okay, so we're going to get 5, base move 5, historical vessel bonus was 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and keep that nautical skill roll, which was a -1. So that's going to give us a 10. All right. So let's try this again. Let's go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. All right. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right. Okay. So now we're back up to speed. Now let's roll for our wind south down here. And we get a 10. That's strong winds. Let's hope they're good, because we got to roll the die. Sometimes it's hard to get in and out of B-13. You can get in there, but sometimes with the wind, and we're just lucky the hurricane's already out of our way. And they're going to be west. I think that might work out good, especially with strong winds. Okay, so let's roll for our wind north. That's going to be an 8, which is east, medium, same. And let's roll for our hurricane. So 1 for the direction, and it's going to move west. 6 spaces. All right. Now we do need to refill this from last turn. And that's Political Favor, which is pays any vessel's move cost. That's a good card. So we will probably buy that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. But the thing is if we were in a warship, that would be worth 5 because it would pay for the move. Now we're in a sloop that costs 3. So it's going to cost me 2 to buy it. And it's going to be worth 3. So I'll have to think about it. All right, but we do need to draw our bite. So let's see. I think we'll go ahead and get it. So we're going to pay 2 and get that history card. And this is a cool card. Political Favor. Pays any vessel's move cost. And it's Blackbeard shared his booty with Governor Eden of Bathtown in exchange for safe haven and a market to sell his pirated plunder. So we play that. And that's going to pay for Searle's move this turn. So let's see. And now we're heading to B13. And we'll go ahead and start taking care of that. And I'm just double checking our cards, see if we've got anything that would help us. We don't. So this is going to be a tough one because B13 is a 5 die, but it's kind of where the winds took us. So let's go with our vessel's base move of 5. Get the historical vessel bonus. Let's check our winds, and let's see. We're moving now from where we're at. We need to make as few turns as possible. So now we can go, I'm going to head southwest and then cut back. We're going to go right here and then back down and in. Well, we can't do that because we can't make that last move. We can't move this last space directly into the wind because the wind's west. So let's see. The only thing we could do is come down here and try to get close and then hit it and come back out next turn. So let's do that. And I'm still going to be going southwest though, especially with those strong winds. That's going to give us a huge bonus. So let's see what we got. West winds. And we're going southwest in a sloop. With strong winds, it's going to be +4. Now, if we were in a big 3-mast ship, it'd probably be +7. All right, now the nautical skill. That's going to be 4 versus 3 for the strong winds. And we got that. So that's going to give us 11. Now, as I said, I wish we could move, but you at no time during the game can you move directly into the wind. You can do what's called a close haul tacking maneuver. So, like if you were starting your turn and you were somewhere on the board and you can move 1 space into the wind, but that's your entire move. So you can only do that, but you can't do it at the end of a move like this. So let's see where we can get here. We're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and we'd have to turn, so we're right there on 11. And that's that should be all right to get in and out there. So let's see. All right, we've got a lot of silver left. So now I'm not going to try to do a bunch of stuff with other ships because I mean it really just would prolong the game. We've got plenty. We really just need to try to get stuff done with Searle. But now by bringing cards out, it can help. So let's see. because I need to get some more cards down there. So let's go ahead and bring the warship out. That's going to cost us 5. And let's save the 6-pounder. So we're going to bring the 4-pounders out. That costs 1. And we'll bring the crew out for 1. And we'll go ahead and get ready to discard. Well, let's see. I'm going to go ahead and change our haven. So we're going to get rid of Bennett's Key. And we're going to put Old Providence down for 3. And that's going to be that's down here, so that's going to be our next stop at a haven. So I want to hang on to the 6-pounders. So we'll discard the Brigantine, and that'll finish turn 5. So let's draw back up to 8. We'll draw 3. I'm sorry, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we got some good cards. We got the Jolly Roger. That's great because that's +1 to any attack roll. And we got a 3-mast ship. We got a Master Mariner crew. We got another marksman with muskets, and we got Thomas Paine. So, all right, that finishes turn 5. We'll get set for turn 6. We'll go ahead and move our marker to 6, and we'll row for our wind south down here. Now, where we're at, we don't need southwest winds, because then we couldn't move northeast directly into it. So that's what we don't need. And we get a 6. So that's actually medium winds, and we have to roll the die. So as I said, we don't want southwest. And we get east. So that's going to work. It's going to work all right. One of the bad things, we got to come right back out the way we came with the winds that way. Okay, so let's roll for our winds north. And we get a 7, so that's going to be medium, and we roll the die. And that's going to be northeast. Now over the Hurricane. It's going to move west 3 spaces. 2, 3. All right. Now, right off the bat, we're going to pay and move Searle to B13. That's going to cost us 3. And we're not even going to check because he's only 2 spaces away with east winds. So I'm sure you make it. Now, let's see what we got here. I'm glad we've got this this history card. That's going to help us. Let's look at B13. B13 is going to let us upgrade the crew also. Now, we got marksmen with muskets, but we'll just stay with that. We've got Master Mariners we could upgrade to, but I'd rather stick with the marksmen. And we got the Jolly Roger we can play, and that's +1 to any attack roll. Now, a history card you have to play before you make the attack roll if it's one that's going to add to it. If it was an instant, you could play it after the fact. But a history you have to play before. So we have to decide we want to play that, and I'm going to, because we are, what are we? We're 6 die, and the attack's 5, so that's going to make us 7. Now the tough one's going to be when we get to Panama. Hopefully we're going to have to do some upgrading or something, or get a good card. That's 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 5. And now we do get, with the marksman with muskets, a reroll on a 1. So just that die. So this is 7 versus 5. All right, big roll. I got 2 6s and they got 1, so we won. Fantastic. So that's going to complete B13, and he's going to get 4 pieces of 8 on board. And as I said, we're just going to leave that crew as it is. Now what we could take the opportunity to do, though, since we've got another one in our hand, I'm going to keep it. We could say, okay, we're going to get rid of that crew, put it, and take the bonus crew out and just switch the same card, and that would just get one out of our hand. But I want to keep that one in my hand, because if we lose that one later, we might need that one. So we're going to keep that. Now we do get to move again because he completed an attack that's one of his historic attacks. We have to pay. It's going to cost us 3. And as I was saying, this wind, because it's east, we can't move directly west except one space, that maneuver I was telling you. So we're going to have to come back out the same way we came in, which is southwest. And we get a 5 and a 1. So let's see what kind of wind. It's not going to be too good, I don't think. So we're going east winds, and we're going southwest, medium. So it's -2. Let's check his nautical skill. We don't have anything else that'll help us out. And that's going to be 4 versus 2. And we lost that. So that's -1. So we're going to have 3. So let's see. We're going to go 1, 2, and turn, and that's it. So we're right back where we were before. But that's the way it is down there. It's one of the things that makes this one tough. That and B10. So we've got to take care of that too. And sometimes that's a tough one, especially if the hurricane comes in on you. So we're done with Searle. So what we got here? We got Thomas Paine, 6-pounders, some crews, some 3-masts. Now we can just scrap any of this we want to, and I'm just going to go ahead and take this, put it on the discard pile, put a 3-mast out for 4, put a crew for 2. We're going to put Thomas Paine on there for 1. And let's see. Now we always have to discard something. So I'm going to back up. I'm going to take Thomas Paine, and he's going to be my discard. And that's going to finish us up. So we'll draw 4. All right, we got the Neptune, which is DeGraff's ship. We got Spanish Man of War, which is a wild card we'll have to deal with, but I do have something that'll negate it, so we're still all right. We got the Fire Ship, which evades any vessel or wild card combat. We could use that on that also. And we got the Boarding Party, which is going to help us with an attack. That's great. All right, so that's going to finish turn 6. Now it's turn 7. Now on Blackbeard's last fight track, you can see that 7's highlighted, and it's actually got arrows on it. So in a multiplayer game, this is the start player token. And so for the first 6 rounds, turns go around the table this way. And then the last 6 rounds, it actually reverses direction. So that's the start player token for multiplayer. Now let's see. We need to fill our purchase row up here. Oh, and it's a broadside. That's a killer card. So I know we're going to buy that right off the bat. So let's just do that. So we're going to spend 2 to buy that. And we really need these cards. I'm glad they're coming out. Okay, we're spending 2 to buy that. Now let's get everything set here. We got to roll our wind. And we get a 10, which is strong. We need something good to get us out of there. Anything kind of westerly would be good. And it's southwest. Not too bad, that'll work. And we've got our north winds. That's a 10 also, so that's going to be strong. And we roll the die. And they're west. Now let's check our hurricane. And it's going to move northwest, one space. So Port Royal's getting hit by the hurricane. All right, so we drew our card. So let's get on the move with Searle here. Now, as I said, we do have the Spanish Mountain War we got to deal with. So let's go ahead and take care of that. And it's plays on any Buccaneer vessel at sea, combat versus 6 die. So, and we have to pay for it, so it's going to cost 6. Now, Searle is 6 die, and we've got the reroll. And now we've got the card that'll negate it, but there's still some other wild cards in there that can come out. So I'm going to try and see if we can't knock out the Spanish Man of War on our own first, because we've got the reroll on a 1. So that's 6 versus 6. And we lost it. So Searle fires a shot across the bow and then shows his letter of marque. And that negates that. So let's see what else we got going here. We could have used the fire ship. Evade any vessel or wild card combat. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna play that. It does the same thing in this situation, since that's a combat wild card, but the letter of marque's more powerful because it can take out any wild card. So that would be the better play there. All right, so now let's get on the move with Searle. And we're moving northwest. And we got strong winds southwest. So let's see. And that's going to give us a +3. Now we can check his nautical skill. And that's going to be 4 versus 3. And we lost that. So it's going to be -1. So he's going to have 8. We've still got a lot of things to do. We've only completed 2 attacks so far. So we're going to go 1, 2. Oh, we can't do that because we can't move. We can't move northeast. So we're stuck right there, especially with those winds. So really, the only thing we can do, that's tough. We're just going to have to move right there and wait. I hate that, but that's the way it goes sometimes. Pirate's life is not easy with the wind. All right, so that's gonna, let's pay We got to pay for that move. So that was 3. And let's see. Let's go ahead and I'm going to pay to put this crew out for 2, the marksmen with muskets. And then we're going to discard the Neptune. So that's going to leave us 5. So we draw 3. And we get 6-pounders, Francis Lyonise, and we get the wild card duel. So we plays on any Buccaneer captain not at sea. So we don't even have another captain out, so we won't have to worry about that one. All right, now that finishes turn 7. So let's move to turn 8. It was looking pretty good, but if we don't get out of there this turn, it's going to be looking pretty rough. So let's roll for our wind south. And we get a 4, which is west, light. And that'll work for us. We really need a bonus card to let us move. So let's put this up here. And that's what we're going to work on. That's a good card, Blackbeard's Last Fight. So let's roll for the wind north. We'll get a 5. So that's going to be light winds northeast. Let's see. And let's roll for a hurricane. A 2, it's going to move northwest, right across Jamaica. 5 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And it's over the north coast of Cuba. All right. So let's see what we can do with Searle now. We get to draw a card. So we've got Blackbeard's Last Fight up there, which is +1 to any captain save roll. But what I'm wanting to do is go ahead and pay 6 and change all those out again. We need a move bonus. And there's, I know, at least 1 card in there still, if not 2. I believe there's 2. And they're both really good. So that's 4, 5, 6, and we're going to change all those out. And get 3 new ones. And there's 6-pounders. Pierre Le Picard and a sloop, so nothing there. So I'm just going to draw this for my card. And we get Master Mariners again. All right, so let's move with Searle. We don't have anything that'll add to his move, but let's go ahead and pay our 3. And we're going to be heading northeast. And we've got westerly winds. So let's see. And they're light, so it's going to be +1. Let's check our nautical skill. It's going to be 4 versus 1. And we lost it. We got a 6. So we get 6. So we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Whew. All right. Well, at least we're on the move a little bit. But we'll get this knocked out pretty quick right now. So let's see. Let's go ahead and play Francois Lyonise. He's a captain, so he's going to cost 2. Now we're going to play this wild card on him. Plays on any Buccaneer captain not at sea. Captain save versus 3 die or lose captain. That's going to cost us 3. and he's got 3 on his captain save, so it's 3 versus 3. Let's see what he can do in a duel here. And he lost, so he goes away. Now we still got 4 pieces of 8 left, so let's see what else we can do. Now we got 2 6-pounders and a crew, so we're just going to discard the extra card, and with the 2, so we'll draw 3. And there's New Providence, 1, 8-pounders, and Sir Christopher Means. All right. So we got another Haven, H2. That's where we're probably going to try to end if we can make up some ground. Well, no, we won't be up that far. We've already knocked out B1. So, but all right. Well, that finishes up turn 8. So let's move on to turn 9. Turn 9, and time's running out. We'll move our marker to turn 9. Let's go ahead and roll for our winds south. We could still squeak out a win. We need some good wind. Now this is a south wind. We get a 7, so that's going to be medium, and we roll the die. Let's see. And we get northwest. That's not bad at all. That's pretty good. So let's roll our north winds. 7. So it's going to be medium. And roll the die. And southwest. Now let's roll for a hurricane. 4. It's going to move west 6 spaces. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right. Now let's get moving here. Let's flush that purchase row again. That's going to cost us 6. Now we need some good cards here. There's 8-pounders, a crew, and another crew. What I'm looking for, there's a couple of history cards that I'm hoping pop up. So we're going to draw the top card. And we get a Haven, Petit Goave. Now that's actually good. That's where we would end the game at if we can get there. So, but let's get on the move with Searle. So we're going to spend 3. And we got 5 for his base. His bonus. Now let's check the wind. We've got northwest, so we can either head west or northwest. And as long as we don't roll the nautical skill, we can go ahead and pick which way we want to take advantage of the winds. So let's check our northwest winds, and let's see if it's going to be better. Heading west would be +3, northwest +2. So we're going to head west, +3. And now we roll our nautical skill. As the nautical skill is kind of how well the captain handles that wind during the journey. So once you roll the nautical skill, you're locked in with that wind direction, and you have to move the first space in that declared course direction. So our nautical skill is going to be 4 versus 2. And we got that, so that's a +1. So that's going to give us 10. It's a pretty good move. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We're still in it. There's some cool stuff if things go right. So let's see. Got a bunch of silver left. Let's go ahead and we got New Providence. We don't need that. So let's bring Mings out and some 8-pounders. That's going to cost 5. And we'll see. We're going to get rid of New Providence. Boy, I still want to upgrade Searle's guns to these 6-pounders. Or I could put him on a warship. But he gets such a good move, we need to keep him on that. So we're going to have to keep these 6-pounders. But what we're going to do, we're going to move them out here. We're going to put this on the discard pile. Because even though they're out here, if they're a bonus, we can move them. So that's going to cost us 2. And we're going to discard Captain Saber. We're going to pay an extra one, and we're going to discard Kid and New Providence. So we're going to draw 4 cards. The Kid's a pretty good instant card, but I'm going to take the risk that, and see, now he would have helped on this, but we can negate that, so we're all right. That's the Dutchman. I'll show you him in just a second. 2, 3, 4. Boy, we're still not getting those cards I was hoping to get. So we got the Marston Moore. That's Christopher Ming's ship. We got the Buried Treasure. It's a cool history. Roatan, Haven. And we got the Flying Dutchman. Now, he's super cool. See if I can hold him steady there for you. Plays on any vessel at sea with 2 or more pieces of 8 aboard. Nautical save versus 4 die, or lose 2 pieces of 8 and cannot move for 1 turn. So we have to deal with him. And that's going to finish turn 9. So let's get things set for turn 10. So we're going to move our marker. We need some good winds still. I mean, we're still close. There's a big move coming up. Let's hope we don't run out of time. So that's light winds west. That's okay. If we can make it to our haven this move, that's going to be the biggie. And we get 5 for the north, so that's northeast light. And let's roll for the hurricane. See if it cuts up toward the Gulf Coast. It's going to keep moving west. 4 spaces. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, it's almost off the board. Okay, so let's go ahead and flush that purchase row again. That's going to cost us 6. So split that 6. We're almost to the bottom of the deck, so not quite, but if we can get a couple of these, there's one of them. All right, so we're going to take this card, Alexander Selkirk. Now he's great, and that's +2 to any vessel's move, so that's a great card. +2 dice. Okay, so let's get set up to move here. Now we're trying to make it to H8, and we really need to get there this turn. I hope I don't have to play it for this move, Selkirk, that we just got. So let's see how many spaces away we are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're 10 away. So we know we're going to get 5 and 1. And let's check our wind. We're moving west with west winds, but they're light, so we're only going to get a +2. And now we've got our nautical skill. So that's 4 versus 1. We're going to come up short. We didn't even get the nautical skill. That's a tie. So that's a 0. All right, so that's going to give us an 8 on our move. And that would put us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And we've got to go for it. We have to, because there's only 2 more turns after this one. I hate to have to use that card right now, but we're going to have to. We've got to deal with the Dutchman too. So let's play him. He's 6. He's going to cost us 6. And we got to pay. Well, we'll pay for that move in a second. So I'm going to have to set 5 out. I'm sorry, 3. There. That's going to pay for our move. But let's pay for the Dutchman. So that's going to be nautical save versus 4 die. And we are 4 die. But now we can negate that. That's why I hung on to that letter of mark. But let's go ahead and take him on with the dice. That's 4 versus 4. Now, if I had that Captain Kidd card, that would let us re-roll a 1 if we got one. Oh, he crushed us. So we'll use the letter of mark for the Dutchman. All right, he's gone. Now we're going to pay for that move. And we're going to move 8 spaces, and we're going to have to play Selkirk. And that's plus 2 die to any vessel's move. So we're going to get at least 2. So that's going to give us our 10. So we're made it to H8. Now we're going to get this silver. Okay, and we can upgrade our vessel. So let's see. We've got the 6-pounders that can go on the sloop. So we're going to move this over. Let's see. Now that helps him a good bit. So now we're up to 7 dice. And since we cashed in silver at the Haven, we do get to move again. So we just have to be able to pay for it. Let's see what we got here. We got broadsides and boarding party. So that's going to help us a lot. So from where we're at, we're going to have to pay 3 to move. Now we can either go, and this is the big move I was telling you about. So see, we've got B10 or B17. So we can hit either one of those. B10 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's only 7 spaces away. So we'll make that for sure. So we've got either B10 or B17, and we can make B17 both. So B17's 7 dice. B10's 3 dice. The thing about B10, we've got to spend 3 to move, and we've only got 4. So we're only going to be able to move once. But coming back out of B10 because of those westerly winds, that's what's tough. We could go after B17 and see if we can knock it out. But let's go to B10. Let's go hit it. So we're at B10, and that's a 3 die attack, and we're 7. And we paid the 3 to move. So that's 7 versus 3. All right, so we won that. So that completes B10, Grand Theft at Grenada, and that's going to give us 3 pieces of 8 on board. Now we could move again, but he doesn't have enough silver to pay for it, so we're going to be stuck, not being able to make that other move. And that's going to pretty much end the turn. We'll discard. Discard the buried treasure. We can't make an extra discard, but that's all right. Now we're going to draw 3. And we'll put the last card into the purchase row. And that was the other card I was waiting on. That was the very last card. So let's see what we can do here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, so we're going to purchase the Brethren of the Coast. That's going to cost us 2. And this is cool. So this is going to give us +1 die to any Buccaneer vessel's move. Not as good as Selkirk, but it's still a good card. All right, so let's roll our wind and get everything set here for turn 11. It's still really close. I mean, I don't think we're going to make it, but you'd be surprised how much we'll do in this last, even this turn, if we get some decent wind. So let's see what our wind is south. And we need some good wind to get back out of there. Definitely not west. And that's why I went ahead and took it, because I'm hoping it won't be the same, because and we've got the opportunity to get in. And now let's see if we can get back out. So we got medium, and we roll the die. Oh, and we got west. Okay, so let's get our north winds. All right, we got strong winds northeast up there. We'll make the most of it and wrap it up here. So let's see. All right, we're ready to move with Searle because we've already taken our draw. And we paid the 2, so let's pay the 3 to move him. And now, as I said, with him being with westerly winds, he can only move 1 space for the whole turn. But we can use the Brethren of the Coast. So we can add to that move. So we're going to move 1 for the 3, and we're going to add 1 die to it. And let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if we get a 6, we can make it back to Old Providence with silver and allow us to move again. So it's a big roll. And that's all we got. We don't have anything else to help us on that. So let's see what we get here. And we get a 3. All right, so that's 1, 2, 3. At least he's out of there. But that's going to pretty much about wrap that up. So let's see what we got. I got a bunch of silver. Now I'm gonna look at things here, and I think I'm just going to go ahead and call this game because the deck's out, and I don't want to have to put y'all through me reshuffling that. But we've got 2 more attacks left, and we'd be 1 turn away. So if we started turn 12, the best he could do, I'll kind of tell you how it would go. We could come up to H8, and we could cash our silver in, and we could completely upgrade his ship. We could change to a warship, which would allow us to put 12 pounders on board, which we've got in our hand. So we could be really strong, and we could come in and hit B17. We would get to move again because we did that. We would come right back out, hit H8 again, drop off that silver, get to move 1 more time. So from H8, we would have to get to B5, and B5's up here. So it's conceivable that he could make it there. If we lucked out and had like strong winds northeast or east coming out of New Providence on turn 12, then he could probably make it to B5. But the problem is he's probably not going to be able to make it back out on the same turn and get to a haven. And that's what we would have to do to win. Now, we did have Petit Goav, so we could put that haven down, and he would just have to get from B5 to that haven. But as I said, with the wind and getting in and out of B5, there's only one way in there, and that's northeast. So for him, you know, it might work, but I'm going to go ahead and call this one because it's too close, and I don't think, like I said, I don't think we'll make it. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I'm going to count that one as a loss. And I'm going to go back and look at it too, and make sure and double check and see if I made any mistakes. I hate that last video on Blackbeard's challenge. I made a mistake on turn 3, or I would have beat it. But it's a challenge, and the cool thing is it's all historically accurate. So with this game, we played with just the Buccaneer stuff. With Blackbeard, you saw all the pirate stuff. In a multiplayer game, you play with all of it, and that's really cool because each player is making different plans. But the great thing too with the solitaire is, I mean, there's different scenarios that I've planned out also. One with Henry Morgan, so there's some other cool stuff. One with Calico Jack and maybe Charles Vane in the pirate era. But there's some cool stuff going on. But I hope you enjoyed that, and I'll wrap this up. All right, well, that was Robert Searle's Buccaneer Challenge, and I'll rack that up as another loss in the loss column. But that was really fun. I hope you all enjoyed it, and be sure and subscribe to my channel, because I'm going to be posting some more videos. I'm going to be doing a multiplayer video showing how that works. I'm going to focus on the components in one, and I'll also do some short ones showing how the Hurricane and player versus player combat works. So I really appreciate you tuning in, and again, my name is Van Overbay, and thanks for your interest in SeaRovers.